It's time. I've had enough. Okay, we have stuff to do. Okay, I switched to decaf, and by decaf I mean guarana. And instead of letting that energy go to waste, how about we use that natural, slow-burning caffeine for, doing the dishes. And we're going to skip this for now. We're going to do that later. What we're going to do is we're going to get all the laundry I need to do in my room. We're going to put it in a pile and start the laundry. And then we're going to organize my freaking room. Okay, so buckle up because we're going on a journey today to clean my house. So exciting, I know. Okay, let's go. How am I going to set it up here? Let's start with the dishes. Now I need to put this thing away because this is like a coffee thing. It's a percolator. It's electric. It's actually really good. Works really well. But I generally only make 1 cup of coffee at a time. I generally don't make multiple cups of coffee. Let's kind of put all this away. Oh, this needs to be cleaned. You can see there's like there's, but it may as well be. We need to set up the camera so I can do the dishes and that it's not too, okay, yeah, this is good. Yeah. Generally, I think the best strat is to take all the dishes out of the sink first, and that helps you kind of organize and plan ahead, subconsciously at least. Get that big bowl, put all the spoons and stuff in there. All the knives, butter knives, all the bowls. Put another bowl. Just put that next to the plate. Put the plate on top of the plate. Put the Tupperware thing randomly. This thing with the spoons. Put more spoons. And then these cheap 2 for $1 cups I got at Walmart. Just, I guess I can put them on the cutting board. Measuring cup. And then this dish. Ah! I almost broke my life. Hey, Sabina. Hi. Ah. I like that name, Sabina. It's so exotic. I'm sure you've heard that before, right? Don't you hate when people say that? They're like, oh, it's so exotic. It's like, no, it's just my name. What are you now? What am I now? I am the storm that is approaching. You should rest because you don't look okay. What are you talking about? I need to do the dishes. And ew, look at this. Ew. And we had some Totino's earlier. That was awesome. Cheap ass pizza. It used to be like 2 for 50 cents. Not really. But I put some kale on it with a whole ass onion. And a big giant spoonful of garlic. Makes me think that I'm actually eating healthy. Well, thanks, Sabina. I should rest. I do need to rest. But sometimes you rest by taking care of business. Because we gotta taking care of business, working overtime every day. taking care of business, working overtime. You know, sometimes, it can be really boring, taking care of chores and stuff. So, instead it's like, I could just, why not start a live stream? Like, I could just, clean on my own and be boring. Or I could start my live stream and chat with you guys. Everybody, move your body. Everybody, move your body. Okay, we need to finish clearing out the sink. Okay, I cleared out that first sink and washed out all the disgustingness. Get all these plates. And more spoons. And another bowl. And here, this is like a strainer, but it's not really, I don't really use it as a strainer anymore. I don't really make pasta. It's too much carbs. If I want carbs, I'll eat oatmeal. Okay, but usually, I just keep it as a way to, like, kind of keep, like, the scrubby in there without it getting all gross from everything that falls into the sink. And it also kind of puts a little bit of a barrier in the right sink besides the little, poop trapper. It's not really poop. Then you just scrub the sink clean, because you start by having a clean workspace. You can't clean if you aren't clean already. If you don't clean your workspace first, how are you going to clean everything else? So you start with a clean workspace, and it gets you in the right mindset for cleaning. And we got to throw away those little things of kale. See, look, this is gross. It happens. See, we got to clean that off. My hair is like not wanting to stay out of my face. Where are you? I'm in my mom's car. Vroom, vroom. Get out in my car. Aww. Okay, yeah, that was accidentally filling up. We gotta scrub, 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 so that we can rub it up, dub. And now I need to fix my hair so it's not in my face. It's not in my face, clan. Don't worry, guys, I'm not gonna crypto scam you guys yet. It's called cleaning your house coin. What time is it? It's 1 a.m. for you? It is 3 p.m. C3PO! 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 Oh my. But I'm smoking a blunt. Oh my, but I'm smoking a blunt. Oh, Luke, I am smoking a blunt, Luke. Okay, so get the hair. We're not going to cut my hair. I'm still growing it out. I already cut it short. And I've been waiting for it to grow out for the past year. It's getting a little bit longer. We got to work on our hair. We got to get our hair to be a beautiful length so I can do fun stuff with my hair. But first it's not long enough to really get out of my face. It's short enough It's like in the weird in-between phase where it's not short enough to not put in a ponytail, but it's too short to put in an effective ponytail. It's a really messed up place to be. You going to bed? Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Okay, so let's first off, let's clean this, and then we can use this for soap water. So, sometimes you gotta clean in stages. You gotta clean so that you can clean. Using the things that you cleaned as ways to help you clean. Okay, so now that I did that, put some soap in there. Soap! And then a little bit of water. And then now we have a little bit of a soap dish that we can then refresh our spongy sponge. Maybe it needs more soap, because this is already watered down soap. Because I'm efficient. I don't waste money. I put soap in water so that I don't use as much. Isn't that a way to save money? And then what you do is, then you can, have soapiness. Not a soapy penis. Okay, I can't have that anymore. I don't have one of those. Okay, so you soap it up. And then you rinse it off. And we're just going to do one at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Hey, Scar, welcome back. Ah. We're doing the dishes right now. We just started. We just started. Isn't that special? Isn't that special, chat? We just started. I don't know why I sound like I'm in Texas. I've never been to Texas. But I did watch SpongeBob where Sandy Cheeks was like, Texas. I mean, SpongeBob was like, Texas. And Sandy Cheeks was like, you better knock it off. Oh, hi. We got 4 likes. Let's get to 69 likes. You know what that means. 69. Okay, we're on to the next dish. On to the next dish. On to the next dish. Oh, whoa, whoa. We're already on to plate number 3 complete. Put it in the drainer so that you don't, you drain your life away. Just drain your life away in the drainer. You're not going to get very far if you drain your life away. You drain your life away and you're going to end up in the drainer. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but what we're going to do is we're going to keep going. We're going to push on to the next plate. We're going to scrubby-dub-dub it. Scrub-dub-dub. You get the soap on there really good. And then we get the fake steel bowl. We get the really, not so deep scrubby. It's not steel wool. Now, one time, I got gum stuck in it. Look, gum. Name the movie. There's gum under my seat. Gum. There's gum under my seat. Look, gum. I forgot which one it is. Maybe it was a Mandela effect. Was it? Maybe you in the comments might correct me. But if you know what movie that's from and what the exact quote is, let me know. Because the quote is either, there's gum under my seat. Gum. Or it's, there's gum under my seat. Look, gum. Mandela effect, Mandela effect, Mandela effect, Mandela effect, Mandela effect, Mandela effect, Mandela effect. Good morning from New Zealand. New Zealand time. Okay. Chat. We're doing dishes. Okay, and then we're gonna clean my room. But first, because I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Okay, like, we're gonna do the dishes, chat. And then we're going to cry in my room. And then we're going to, put all the laundry on the floor because that's where it belongs. And then we're going to do laundry. And while the laundry's going, I need to charge my phone because it's probably going to, drain a lot of battery by the time we get to that point. And we're going to organize my top bunk for all my storage. At some point I need to take out the trash. Probably after this. And I'm not going to show you me taking out the trash because then I have to go outside and we don't do that. Okay, so now we're on to, let's get these bowls out of the way. Stupid bowls are in the way. Name the reference. Stupid balls in the way. Stupid balls are in the way. See you in a big house with a white picket fence and several dogs roaming the house. Why? That sounds like a nightmare. I want to live in a coffin because I'm a vampire. No dogs allowed, Snoopy. No, I don't want dogs. I don't want cats. I don't want any pets. Well, unless you count my gimp. But no, I just want a modest lifestyle. I want to be able to go camping and go hiking and, go out and explore the world, go explore different, libraries in the world. There really needs to be more third spaces. You know what I'm talking about? Like libraries and, parks. I like third spaces. Third spaces are really special because you don't have to pay to be there. And also, even if I had the money, there's something special about third spaces. It's much more connected to humanity. And it's like I want to meet people. I want to do things with people. I want to do things with people. No, I want to work together with people. And I want to really be a part of this world. And I don't want to be stuck in a big giant mansion. Because if I get a big giant mansion, then I'm living in a castle, and I'm never going to be a part of the world. I'm going to be I'm going to be stuck, which is not really any different than I am now. I want to live in a, just a modest, safe location where I can have a garden, where I can, have access to, public areas and businesses as well. Not too far for groceries. I like going to get groceries. I don't like having things delivered to me. Unless it's necessity. But sometimes it's just, that's the best thing to do. But I really don't want a whole bunch of, stuff. You can't take any stuff with you when we die. I just want to be able to live life. I like the stuff that's free. Kindness is free. Having a conversation with somebody at 3 a.m. is free. Having somebody that texts you when they have a problem, that's actually worth more to me than a giant mansion or anything like that. Like, I want to be a part of this world. Because I think, like, you know, in today's age, people are forgetting what matters. You know, people are starting to, like, get stuck in their own little misery, which sucks, or they get rewarded, and then they kind of go too far. Like, they start getting mansions and big, like, you know, expensive cars, and they buy a bunch of stuff. And it's like, you know, because, you know, especially if you were poor, you know, a lot of people who never had money, as soon as they start succeeding financially, they kind of go the opposite direction because they never had it before. But, like, the thing about that is that, you know, you kind of, every time you buy stuff, you kind of get glued to it. Like, if you buy an expensive house, you feel like you can never leave the house now. It's kind of like a big fancy prison. You know, I don't really want a super big expensive house. I just want, like, a place to live, a place to work, a place to spend time with my friends, and also, you know, try to spend more time away from the house. You know, but money unlocks that. You know, because if you don't really have money, you know, even places that are free to go to, you still have to physically get yourself to there, which is gonna, you know, you could ride your bike, but, like, that's limiting. Like, you can't bring stuff with you as much. You know, like, and also it only takes yourself. It doesn't take other people. So a car, you know, you're gonna have to, you know, it takes money to run your car. You have to spend money on gas. You have to, like, do maintenance. You know, so even places that are free require money. And so if you don't have money, that's what money unlocks. To me, anyway. To me, having money unlocks freedom. You know, having money gives you the ability to do things that you never were really able to do before because you're like, oh, but I don't want to spend all my money because I need to pay my bills, or, you know, or I don't have enough money. And it's like, to me, that's the only purpose of money, is so that you don't have to worry about it. Ironically, like, the whole point of having money is so that you don't have to think about it. To me. You know, you can buy stuff, and that's always kind of fun. Every now and then I buy new stuff. But, you know, stuff is only stuff. It's only temporary. You know, there's some things you need, obviously. But at the same time, you don't really need it. To me, it's more important that you use money as a way to unlock potential rather than to just get stuff. Like, if you have money, now you can go driving across the country. Now you can go pay for hotels. And that means that you can go to, like, chess tournaments. Or you can go to events like AnimeCon or TwitchCon or any kind of con. Con! Name the reference. Nobody ever does. I always ask people in my streams and in my YouTube videos to name the movie references, hoping that people would comment them to drive engagement, but nobody ever does. Yeah, so obviously it's easy for me to say this now because I don't have money, but at the same time, I really do think there is something to it. Like, the whole purpose of money is like, money can be a trap. It can liberate you, but it also has the potential to be a trap. Because if you have a whole bunch of money, but now you own a big giant property, you have all these expensive cars, it means now you have to basically feel like you have to take care of those things. Now you have to, like, you know, there's all this maintenance that goes with it. You know, now your whole life is surrounding all the stuff you've accumulated. You know, it's like, you don't want to go too crazy. I feel like there's, like, a nice, like, perfect spot where you earn enough money, but you're like, aware that money only unlocks stuff that you can't do without it. And you basically want to live as if you don't have money, but now that you have money, you can do stuff that you couldn't really do before. I feel like that's the ideal. Like now you can go like on crazy adventures. Now you can go hang gliding. Now you can go like, you know, you can afford to like travel, you know, travel and stuff like that. So that you can actually, ironically, you have less time, but the time you do have is yours. So you're not allowing yourself to stand still. In fact, you might even be working harder now that you've earned money. Like that's actually kind of like, you know, it's kind of this weird paradox. Like people always think they want to retire. People always think they want to like not have a job. But if you don't have a job, what is your life about? And if you don't have to worry about money, then you have the luxury of not having to work a job. Which means that if you have money, now you have this like really dangerous situation where you're very likely to just kind of like, you know, veg out and kind of like not do anything. Which that's a mistake, because the only reason we do that is because we're tired from our job. But if you don't have a job, now you can use that energy to go, you know, learn a new skill, like learn archery, or go kayaking, or go on a backpacking adventure. And now you don't have to worry about like, you know, oh, I can't afford new equipment or emergency situations, or, you know, what if my car breaks down and now I'm going to owe all this money I don't have. Like now you don't have to think about that. So now it's like if you have money, it unlocks this like level of freedom that you didn't have before. And so ironically, you're kind of like more active potentially if you do it right. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, we're so stuck in like, you know, not having money that it's hard for us to imagine what life could be. Because most of us are like stuck being broke. And so like we don't really know what it's like to have true freedom. And I think it's like most of us kind of continue to trap ourselves by increasing their spending, and then you stay broke, basically. Yeah, of course you have more stuff, but if you spend more than you're earning, you're basically the same as if you weren't earning more money. So if you're able to like control your spending and like get to the point where you can use money as a way to unlock additional features rather than just scale up your spending, because then if you're already here and then you start earning this amount of money, but then you start spending as much money as you were before, like relatively, then you're basically the same place you were before. But if you earn this much money and then you only slightly increase your spending, now you have all this wiggle room. And that's freedom, baby. That's freedom. That's actual freedom. And we're almost done with the dishes. Yay! I'd like to thank the Academy for allowing me to do the dishes. I'd like to thank SpongeBob for giving me the sandy cheeks kind of thing earlier. I'd like to thank Twitch chat for not being here. Thank God. Oh yeah, we need to clean up this thing. Because I didn't clean it out right last time. For the percolator. Let's see, what else do we need to clean? I need to clean this lid. I need to clean this like little pan thing. I need to clean this other lid. I need to clean the spatula. And we're not going to worry about all that stuff. Pots and pans and stuff. And we're going to be done with dishes very shortly now. Hooray! What do I win? Another beer! Name the reference. Yeah, future me is going to be watching this. So, hi future me, it's Rebecca, your best friend. You probably thought that dog that bit you in the ass and caused you to have rabies, and then you hired a doctor to cure rabies, and you became the doctor because of the rabies, and then you won a Nobel Prize, and now you're a multi-millionaire. Stop spending so much money, you bitch. That's a very specific scenario. Am I a time traveler? Scrub, 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 scrub. Do another additional layer of soap. Did I do that? Everyone knows that reference, right? Right? Or am I just an old dinosaur from the Neolithic era? Oh, we got one more spatula, a little butter knife style spatula. Oh yeah, we got the cups. We leveled up too early. Oh no, we leveled up in the middle of it because we get XP every single time we're doing something, not after the entire activity. Makes you think, huh? You don't have to complete a complete activity to level up. You get XP every single time you do something. You just have to do stuff. Okay, and we gotta clean these cups. They still have the sticker on it because I can't get it off. Oh, now they're coming off. I've been trying to get these stickers off. For like the month that I bought, like month or 3 months that I bought these. I usually use these for milk. I don't know why. There's just something about these that feel good about milk. I don't know why. See, these aren't really coming off. Oh, it's kinda. Beam beam bum beam bum 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 beam bum bum beam bum 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 beam beam bum beam bum bum Hey guys, I think the guarana had caffeine in it. Okay. Isn't cleaning fun? I like cleaning with Rebecca. She's fun. She makes everything fun, even the most mundane of tasks. That's why I like collaborating with her and spending money on her. I'm a people pleaser, but I'm not very good at it. It's a weird paradox. It's like I'm a people pleaser, but I'm not a very good social person. I'm like a writer who can't write. Wait a minute, I mean, so I'm Rebecca? That bitch. What's she doing? I thought she like went to prison or something. Nope, I'm still here. I'm on the internet being a weird psycho. As per usual. But I'm not as bad as you think I am, just because you've had one negative interaction with me. I'm actually like a really decent human being, really well-rounded, and I know what matters in life, and I know how to get serious. Like, I may be a little bit weird, but I know how to take things seriously, and I really know like what truly matters in this life. You know, some people are just either you're really serious or you're really, not so serious. Why so serious? But I know how to actually pay attention to what people say. If somebody has a problem with me, I'm here to listen. They might not always want to talk to me, but I'm always here. Like, there's a little bit of a distinction there. I can't control other people, but I can be receptive to people's criticism. And not everybody is really accepting of that, but they usually come around eventually. 12 years later. No, like, really, honestly, like, for realsies, most people, like, they kind of have a hard time understanding me at first. Either that or they really do, like, right away. Some people are really, like, pick up on my vibes really quick. Some people don't. Some people think I'm one thing, and then they find out later, after they've had some experiences with other people that aren't so... I don't even know what the word is. There's some word that explains my ability to redeem myself. There's other people in the world that aren't going to be anything like me. And then they realize my superpower is that I always try to do better. And then they come back. I hope. They don't always do. Obviously, some people just never really get it. But, I can't expect other people to... I can only be me. Is that not allowed? I just want to be me. Is that not allowed? See, like, you can like, kind of understand. Once you start blaming other people for why they don't like you, there's probably a reason. Like, that's probably it. But, like, once you start saying, hey, like, I am trying to be a grown-up about the situation. I know I fucked up, but I'm trying to do better. Like, I feel like once I learned how to take a step back and realize that I can't expect other people to, understand. But what I can do is I can change my behavior, and hopefully they realize that. And then, I might be a little bit more lonely for a while. But, everybody who truly understands me usually comes back in some way. Because they understand that, hey, like, I'm human and I make mistakes. And I'm willing to try to do better. But I can't expect other people to accept that. And I think that's where the superpower comes from. Once you understand that you can only control your own actions, that you can't expect people to get it, I think that gives you like a lot of strength. Because when you have expectations of other people, you're only going to get let down. And I know that's a little bit of a doomer take, but it can be positive too, because then you can focus on what matters. And then there's going to be people who truly appreciate you, and you should put your energy into them. Because if you're putting all your energy into the people who aren't going to accept you, you're kind of like, giving the middle finger to all the people who already accept you. And so, like, I think, like, reframing it that way really helps. Wait, is this cleaning stream a metaphor for cleaning your life? Is it? Maybe. It's mostly just me cleaning. No, there's no hidden meaning. There's no metaphors. Stop. We didn't fully clean this thing. We failed. We're a failure because we cleaned everything, but we didn't clean the initial thing first correctly. That makes us a failure. We may as well throw away all the dishes and cry in my room. I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. 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 Now I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Okay, we need to splash some cold water on our face. Put you in the moment. Music, the moment. In the moment. Okay, now what are we gonna do? Okay, first we're gonna cry in my room. Now there's like water on the screen. Okay, it's been 42 minutes. We did the dishes. Now I need to wipe my screen off. Okay, now we need to get around to the next task, which is all this bullshit. So these are clean underwear. We don't need to deal with that. You know, chat, you don't have to look at my underwear. we're gonna hide that somewhat. Let's just put stuff we don't need to worry about away, at least somewhat away. I can just put it over here. Put the underwear. And then I made sure to take all like things that would show my address away. We don't need to look up there, but if we're gonna clean up there, I'm gonna put it at an angle where you can't see any like doxing information. You know, not like it matters. There's people who already know where I live. I know where you live. Okay, we're gonna put my stuff away that I don't want to get ruined. Stuff that's like important. We're not gonna worry about this area just yet, so we can keep all like my laptop and stuff here for now until we get to that section of the cleaning. Let's just open the door and prop it open just to get some air in here. I need some air. I'm breathing. Air. Okay, so how about we worry about propping the door open first? Where's the door prop? I use a shoe. It's like a shoe that's like a little bit too tight, but where'd it go? Chat? Where'd the shoe go? Where'd my phone go? Oh wait, I'm holding it. Okay, here's the shoe. Yeah, it's a shoe that's a little bit too tight. Say hello to the shoe, chat. You're a star. The shoe is a star. I'm a star. Oh yeah, we were going to take out the trash, but first I'm going to plug in my phone. And what we're going to do, chat, I'm going to place my phone up here while I do the cleaning. But I need to charge it. Let's charge the phone. And then how about we just kind of place this right here? Maybe better. Ah. Yeah, we can just place it right here. There we are. Okay, I'm going to take out the trash. You guys sit tight. I'll be right back. And we're going to start with throwing clothes on the floor because we're going to do laundry next. Okay, so stay tuned. You know, I should probably take out the trash later. So what I did is I put the trash bag, you know, I put it next to the door, and I'm going to put a new bag in the trash can, and then I can take out the trash later. And I need to drink some water. I am pretty caffeinated, chat. Yeah, guarana, my new favorite thing. It's like the most cost-effective caffeine source. Pretty much, like healthy caffeine. Obviously, you can get like pure caffeine, but caffeine causes you jitters if it's not like balanced with like stuff. I really like guarana because it's like really caffeinating, but it's like a slow burn, kind of like yerba mate. I kind of like the taste too. I know some people say it's like earthy and tastes like dirt. I kind of like stuff that tastes like dirt. But I could put it in decaf coffee. Yeah, and also it's way cheaper than energy drinks. And also, I found out a lot of the zero sugar energy drink monsters don't have guarana in it. It's just regular caffeine, which is kind of, it's different. It's like more jittery. But like the blue monster, I keep that for salt water. Well, sometimes I use salt water to like clear out my any kind of like oral hygiene issues. Okay, what were we doing? I'm getting distracted. We need to do one thing at a time. So we're not sorting anything just yet. We're not cleaning anything or throwing anything away. We're going to do that later. The first step is I need to get all the clothes. Now, before I do anything, I need to actually say what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all the clothes on the floor that are on the top bunk. We're only going to focus on the clothes that are on the top bunk. No blankets, no sheets, nothing. No garbage, nothing. No sorting, no anything like that. We're going to do one focused activity at a time, chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the clothes because I know all these clothes are dirty. I already did laundry for my underwear, and we put our underwear out there. Somewhere out there, there is some underwear. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put all these clothes on the floor. Once they're on the floor, I'm going to do at least one load of laundry, and I'm going to put the rest of the dirty laundry into the laundry basket. I don't know why I'm not putting them into the laundry basket. Probably because my laundry basket's buried, but we're gonna bury. Where's Barry? How about I start by getting the laundry basket out. Okay, so that didn't take too much. Barry, Where's Barry? Okay, so here I have multiple laundry baskets. I have so much laundry to do. Insane amounts. But I'm going to get at least this laundry basket. This one's full, so I'm going to put it aside. And then I'm going to have a fresh laundry basket. And we're going to put all the clothes that are on the top bunk into the laundry basket. That is a single focused activity that has a clear beginning, middle, and an end. We're in the middle of it now. We're in the thick of it, chat. We're in the thick of it. I'm sick of it. Okay, this is for going vroom vroom on the bicycle. Then you look like a bicycle rider. You can play into the aesthetic of being a bicycle rider. Like, you know, some of those people who only ride their bike if they're wearing certain special bicycle outfits. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Put you in the mindset of success. Some people are going to make fun of you, but those people are on the couch eating Cheetos. If you want to eat Cheetos, you can succeed. All you have to do is go to the store and buy some Cheetos. So that too can be used as a success. You already know how to succeed, chat. You just need to direct that energy into things and stop being a perfectionist. Because what happens when you're a perfectionist, when you go to the store to get a bag of Cheetos, you're not thinking about how to do it. You're not thinking about, okay, how do I get into the car? Do I turn the keys at a certain 45-degree angle first? Do I have to put on a certain type of music? Like, no, you just do it. So you're already equipped to be successful, chat. You already know how. You have to stop trying so hard. You're holding yourself up to a standard that you never hold yourself up to in things that you are continually successful with, but you put it on a pedestal. You're putting these things that most people say are success, like success in your career, success in relationships, all these kind of things. Success in a video game, even. But, which could be potentially some people's careers. But what you're not missing out on is that you don't put that level of scrutiny on things that you succeed in all the time. You succeed in getting out of bed. You succeed in making a cup of coffee. You succeed in starting your car. Why? Because you just trust the process. And if you start trusting the process, let's go, Rebecca, dance. Yeah, we're cleaning. I'm crying in my room. Now I'm crying in my room. Hello there. Hello there. What are you, Ben Kenobi? Obi-Wan? Hello there. Are you Obi-Wan Kenobi? Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. You love the dance video? I need to make more dance videos. But here's the thing, is like, you can be successful at something, but just let yourself be successful. Because it's going to take longer than a day. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. But if you keep on saying, oh, I need to do it this way, I need to do it perfectly, I'm not good enough, which is what we all do, especially me. But the thing is like, I don't think that way when I need to go to the grocery store. This is clean underwear. So like for cleaning my house especially, like I don't need to do it perfectly, I just need to do it. But like here's this thing, is like if I can clean, I already know I can clean my house. I've done it before. So that's why it's like, hey, I just have to do one thing at a time. I never wear these pants. And I'm let me just get rid of this yarn. I need to cut the cord. Okay? I'm not going to be knitting again anytime soon. I might, but I can afford to throw away some of the yarn. Okay, like it's too tangled. Let's just throw it all away. I need to cut the cord. If I want to start doing yarn knitting again, I can buy more fucking yarn. Okay? I lied. I said I was gonna. I had to do this just because my laundry was tied up in yarn. Smiley face. You watching your video? Thanks for watching my videos. See, like, you know how to succeed. You succeeded in watching a video. I know it sounds like really stupid because you're like, oh, that's nothing. It's not nothing. It's something. It's just not the thing that's going to make you, successful in your career or your skill that you're learning or like a music instrument or whatever. It's not. See, here we do have like a fresh thing of yarn. I can use that one next if I get back into knitting. But I think I need to get rid of this. I need to give up on this project that I haven't done in over a year. I was in the middle of a knitting project. I think it's time to let that one go. And I should get next time I get into knitting, I should get an actual knitting bag, like a special bag, not an expensive one, but like a special bag that's just for knitting. Because right now I'm just using a box. Like I'm just using a box, which is good enough. But like, it would be nice that if I get into knitting again, I'm just gonna throw this away. It's too tangled. And the thing I was making, it's unraveling. It's unraveling. Everything is unraveling. Everything is unraveling. It's all unraveling, chat. Everything. Everything is unraveling. My whole life is unraveling. Everything about me is unraveling. I'm unraveling, chat. Oh, see? I didn't completely unravel. We can save that one. And then we're going to throw away the rest of this bullshit. It's just too much to sort through. It's not worth it. It's only a couple dollars. You could be one of those people like my dad who like saved something because he spent $1 on it, but you're going to be spending all that time and energy doing something that you're probably never going to do, and then you're never going to get around to it because it's too much work, and then it's just going to clutter your house. So instead of saving everything like a hoarder, what you need to do is just get rid of the things you don't use. I wish my dad would do that. I know how to do it. It's even hard for me, and I'm very much aware of it. I don't know where the other knitting thing went. What are they called? The knitting needle? Okay, this is full. We need to get the next laundry hamper. Yeah, I have so much laundry to do. I'm not going to do all my laundry because I don't have enough propane to do a whole bunch of loads. I think I'm going to wait for another day to actually do laundry. I might do like 1 or 2 loads. I already did underwear. I'm going to have to sort through it though, so I'm going to have to do that off stream, I think. We have other things to do instead of laundry. I can just do some like basic, like the most important laundry first. There's the other one. And it has like, I like the little counter so you can keep track of how many you've done. I don't know where the blue thing went though. See, it's supposed to have a blue thing. And it's somewhere. We're going to find it through the course of cleaning. Let's put this in a place where it's not going to get in the way. Because we're not focused on anything but putting the laundry into the laundry basket. I'm putting things into the laundry basket. It puts the laundry in the basket or else it gets the hose again. I want some hose. I am a hoe. I'm cleaning up the live stream and dance video. Yes, I'm cleaning. I already did dishes. We did dishes together. And then we were talking about random things. And we're still talking about random things. And then I'm going to cut your yarn off. And then now I'm putting all the laundry in the basket, or else it gets the hose again. And then we're gonna actually clean my room. We're gonna clean my room. Because I'm crying in my room. I need more water. Make sure to stay hydrated, chat. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Don't get frustrated. That doesn't rhyme. It's the same exact sound. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. Hey, it's the dress I wore in your favorite dance video, High Life. Heads will roll. Heads will roll. Heads will roll on the floor. Some of these clothes I never wear, but I'm going to put them in the laundry basket anyway. I've already discarded a lot of clothes. I don't need to discard more clothes. Here's some trumpet music. Sheet music, chat. Sheet music. Sheet. 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 We're going to focus on laundry. Now, this dress can't be washed normally. Or, yeah, it can. I wash on, like, delicates. This actually is like a pretty dress. I got it from my aunt before she died. I remember I was doing a live stream on Twitch, and it was during like these big fires that were going on, and it looked like I burned my face, but it wasn't because of a fire. It was because I put Nair on my face, and it wasn't the kind that you're supposed to put on your face. You shouldn't put chemicals on your face to burn hair, by the way. Tell about your channel. Hey, Head Smoke. And what is this? Oh, these are stockings. No garter belts, though. They're completely vacuum sealed. They're completely vacuum sealed. Arf, arf, arf. It's a vacuum seal. Arf, 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 arf. It's a seal that vacuums, or is it a vacuum that is a seal? Or is it a vacuum made of seals? Here's some special things. They're like, I never wore the, see, it is a garter belt. There's a bra. These are some makeup removal. We're taking care of just laundry. I got clean socks. I need to put these socks are clean. This underwear I think is clean. It's got fuzzies on it. May as well wash it. Here's a bunch of writing stuff. I need to organize my life. Because a lot of the reasons my mind is cluttered is because literally my room is cluttered. I don't have a clean space to work. And I know that, like, I knew this I've known this for a while, but it really has been hard to clean. That's why I had to get like extremely high amounts of caffeine just to do this cleaning stream. I started drinking guarana, which is healthy, but it is high caffeine. But it's giving me the slow burn of caffeine. Oh, I found this. It's giving me a slow burn of caffeine that's giving me the power to clean my room. Look at yourself, chat. Look at yourself. Look closely. Look closely, chat. Look at yourself. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Won't you please, somebody, look at it? This thing's fun because it has like these little tassel things on it. Woo! Yeah, this one's fun. Like if you're dancing, those extra things can move around. Here's my typewriter. And I've been looking all over for my folio. I have a folio for all my loose paper analog writing. I was looking all over for that. I thought it was over there. It was actually over there. I need to put it somewhere else. Let's put it over here for now. There's a can of soda. And here's my typewriter, chat. I don't know if I've shown you before. Probably. Actually, I know for a fact I have. Here's my 1948. Uh-oh, I need to be careful. It's a little bit... Oh, there's a pen in there. That's why. That would explain it. Yeah, I don't want to break it. These things are pretty robust. They're pretty hard to break. But it probably needs to be oiled. Honestly, it works pretty well. But here's my Royal Quiet Deluxe from 1948. Got it for like less than $100 back in 2015 or 2014 actually. Definitely need to organize my stuff, but we're going to clear out a space for this. I already did. Because we're taking care of... Ooh la la. Yeah, those things can go there. All the garbage can just go on the floor. This pen is not garbage. It matters. Okay, some dirty underwear. Some more. We're going to take care of the clothes. Then we can actually organize stuff and have spots for things so I'm not always cluttered. So I can know where all my writing tools are. Instead of having to like have everything chaos. Oh my God, James Baldwin collection. I haven't read all of his essays. But I have his essay collection, James Baldwin. Very impactful writer. I look up to him. He wrote during the Civil Rights Movement. He lived, I think, towards the end of the movement. He moved to France. And he was just not putting up with the racism in America, and also he was like bisexual, so like he had some issues in America, being like he was like the son of a pastor, and so like there's like probably some religious undertones and stuff like that. I don't know, you'd have to ask him. He wrote a lot about it. I look up to writers and public speakers, especially people who did a lot of stuff in like for civil rights. Because it's like what we're going through today, we're still trying to fight for civil rights. And people say, oh, the civil rights movement, it's like, dude, racism still exists in this country. We're still having the same battle. And now they've upped their game against trans people, and then using it as a gateway to get back in against gay people, trying to take away gay marriage again. They didn't stop hating just because laws passed. Okay, people had to fight tooth and nail to get laws passed, but that doesn't change people's opinions. Writers are the people who change the world. And I look up to writers because I'm not trying to say I'm as powerful as them, but I have the potential to be. I want to be an effective writer. I want to move people. And not like a bowel movement. But like, oh, there's my bikini top. It's looking all over. I don't know where the bottom is. And there's a random yoga top. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I might have to do this in another stream. I think it's good that I can use my stream as a way to initiate cleaning. So next stream, I really like this bra. It's a little bit tight, but I haven't worn it much. So it's like, I like this one because it makes my boobs look bigger. Well, it also kind of makes them look nice. Nice and bouncy. I think I can use my stream as a way to initiate the activity. And I can say, oh, you know what? I did the dishes and I took all the laundry off my top bunk. I prepared for the next phase of the cleaning process. That is not a failure. That is a success. Just because you don't finish the entire activity. One day we're going to do a nail polish testing stream, I guess. I haven't used these. I've had them for like over a year. Have you ever heard of these things? These are like some Japanese brand. But they're like pencil covers. You put them on the tip of your pencil so that you don't break the tip. And you know what these are? These are like eraser tops that you put on pencils. But these you put on the tip, and it like prevents the pencil from breaking. So you know it doesn't like shatter. You don't have to resharpen your pencil. I have a whole bunch of pencils. What I want to do is I want to actually set up a writing setup for when I don't want to use pens. Sometimes I like using different writing tools because they spark different creative ideas. I like what I do is like I think it wasn't Ernest Hemingway. I think it was I forgot who it was. It was the person who wrote, it was the guy who wrote Grapes of Wrath, I think. What was that? F. Scott Fitzgerald? I forgot who it was. There was a writer around that time though, who every single writing session, which was like basically every day, or probably every day, he would sharpen 30 pencils or something like that, put them in a box, and then start writing with one pencil until it started getting dull, put it in another box on the other side, and go through every single pencil, and wouldn't stop writing until all the pencils were in the other box. It's a really good way to write. And then if you obviously, it's analog writing, so if you want to digitize it, you have to transcribe it, you have to type it. But I have a system. I have a system where if I'm going to back something up digitally, I don't back everything up digitally. But if I'm going to say, hey, I wrote something, I'm going to get a pen, usually a red pen, like red ink, and I'm going to mark or put brackets in between the spots that I'm going to transcribe, and then I put it in a folder. Then I know that hey, I'm going to put it in a to-do list. I have a to-do pile of, I'm going to set aside a separate time where I'm going to sit down and make sure that I transcribe everything, and everything that's done, I put a little I get a blue pen, and I put a little circle on it. Like it's like a little check mark, but it's a circle check mark. It's a little special system I do. You don't let it pile too high, because if you let it pile too high, it's going to take a lot longer to do in a single session. So what you do is you maybe like maybe 3 pages, like 3 to 5 pages before you start actually doing it. Or maybe you do it right away. Like, but you never make sure it doesn't really go past 5 to 10, and maybe like 10 pages max. But you basically, if you pile it up too high, it's gonna be harder to start. And you want to actually, it's not even about whether or not you can power through it or not. It's the fact that you need to be able to do stuff on a systematic, regular, consistent basis. And so like, you set aside a time every single week or every couple of days, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, where you go through that to-do pile. And she said doo-doo. And then you transcribe it. Basically what I do is I get my free write and I type it and I email it to myself. And then anytime I want to actually put it into a document, that's a separate process. Like anything that I'm going to save it and digitize it. but I have a separate drafting and revision process. So anything that I'm going to revise, I'm going to go through stuff that I'm going to go through every digital document I have. I'm going to make sure that anything that I want, I'm going to go through my analog writing and say, hey, is there something that I've written that I can put into the document? And that's a whole separate process of searching. You know, like these are individual actionable goals, just like the cleaning. Like I said, I'm going to put all the clothes into the laundry basket. That's a single task. I'm not thinking about doing the laundry. I'm not thinking about sorting all this, throwing away the garbage. I'm not thinking about sorting through things. That comes at a later time. I'm putting things into actionable steps. And I do the same thing with my writing. So what I do with my writing is I draft. Like draft is going to be the most things you do. But then once you've drafted enough, you need to be able to say, okay, which ones are going to go into a focused document? And then you go through the process of going through your drafts. That's a different process. Some of it's going to be digital. Usually I try to make everything digital. But I like writing by hand. And I like using my typewriter sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll go through all my drafts, which can be like either in my email, or they can be in a Google Doc, or they can be in like some like Word Grinder, which I started using. Word Grinder is a really good like kind of daily journal tool for my laptop. And I have a format, I have a template that separates every single, like I basically have a daily draft, which is like I'll have like a scratch, you know, like just for scrap, and then I'll have journal, and then I'll have like to do, like just for daily tasks, like stuff that like, you know, hey, I need to do this today, I need to do this today, and then check them off digitally as I do them, so that I can keep track of what I'm doing. And then I'll have like one for my novel, you know, a tab. They're basically tabs. And then I'll have, you know, for drafting. It's not for the final document. What I'll do is I'll go through every single piece of writing. I'll digitize or transcribe anything that is analog, like something I wrote by hand or by typewriter. I'll go through that. I'll mark with a red pen a bracket in between every section that I need to digitize. And then at a separate time, I'll go through all those piles of to do. Usually I don't. Usually I figure out that I need to digitize it pretty soon after I'm writing it. It's usually not later, but I do need to practice setting like at least one day a week where I go through all my writing and start reading things and say, hey, like here's an idea. I should put this into an essay or a blog post or put it in my novel. And, you know, and then I say, okay, I'm going to digitize this. And I mark all of them. That's a separate task. The marking of them, the going through them, that is a separate task at another time, sometimes immediately. But most of the time, it's going to be at a later time. And it's probably better to do it at a different time rather than right after. Because it's drilling into you the habit of setting aside specific time slots to take care of certain actions. So I'm still trying to figure out how to actually get it into like a very strict calendar, but that's for later. I just need to like put them into separate tasks first. Once you've put them into separate tasks, then it's a matter of executing those tasks. Once you get into the matter of like executing the tasks, then you start taking note of like, okay, when am I more likely to engage in this task? When am I more likely to engage in this task, etc., etc. And so what you do is then you set aside the time to go through your to-do list, your to-do pile, your transcribing pile, and you digitize all of those, and you organize it the best way you can, but your goal isn't to organize right now. I do have systems in place to organize them kind of automatically, because I have like a system. And when you have a system, you can start off so that you're going to give yourself less work later. And so I write them in an organized system that's not bogging me down too much, so that later I can go through the finer organizing. And so, but when I'm typing them up into a digital document, I am only focused on typing them and documenting them. Once they're in a document, at another time, I'm going to take all my collected writings that I want to do for a project, I'm going to put them into a single document. And I'm going to order them the best I can. But the goal is to put them into a single document, even if they're out of order. I can go through the sorting at a different time. And this is the beginning of the revision phase. And so like I have a system from draft to collection to initiating the revision phase, and then to the revision phase. And then the revision phase is like kind of like a circular process. It's like once you get to the revision phase, you basically have a whole bunch of mini versions of the whole thing. Because the revision process can go back to drafting. The revision process can go back to collecting. Like it's once you get to the revision process, you basically went up a level and then you started the process over. But it's just like it's a little bit better each time. It's faster, usually. Because it's like now you've already collected everything, you're going to be doing less and less and less refining over time to the point where you say, okay, it's done. You have to decide that. You have to decide, I have gone through this process from course correction to slightly less course corrections to like kind of more refined corrections to very, very, very small corrections. And if I keep going, you're going to get diminished returns. And so eventually you have to decide, okay, I got so close to done, I'm going to have to just say, you know what, I'm done. And then you publish it. Or you submit it to an agent or an editor. Or whatever you're doing, for whatever work it is. Then you go into the publication process, which is a whole other ballgame. Because publishing could be as easy as posting a comment on YouTube, or it could be querying to traditional publishers and agents. Okay, like that's a completely different process. But I know what to do for that. But you can't finish if you don't even have a manuscript. Okay, so you got to actually draft, collect, prepare for revision, and then revise. And then once you have something that's ready, then you focus on publishing. You don't need to be focusing on publishing when you're not even writing. Okay, like I'm writing every single goddamn day. Okay, I've written probably over the course of my lifetime over 3 million words. Okay, like, and that's a conservative estimate, guys. That's a conservative estimate. Lately, what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to recognize the things that I've already been doing, that I'm delusional. And when I say delusional, I don't mean like delulu, like I'm crazy or whatever. What I mean is that I'm delusional in the opposite of positive. Like, I should be very proud of myself for how much I've accomplished. But I'm delusional in thinking that I'm a failure. Some people are delusional in thinking they're successful. I'm like an imposter syndrome. I have imposter syndrome. And so like, I don't have like Dunning-Kruger issues. I have to go the opposite direction. I have to make sure to remind myself that the stuff that I already do, and the fact that I'm even saying it this way, even the stuff that I type on my phone. This idea that typing on your phone is any less valuable than typing on a typewriter or writing in a journal with a fountain pen, or typing into a laptop, or typing into or just any kind of writing that involves a keyboard or handwriting. For some reason, it's hard for people to detach phones from waste of time, because you can use your phone to be productive. Typing on your phone still gets the words out. The only thing that matters is the end result. I've been going through this process of learning that it doesn't matter how I write. It matters that I write. The words on the page are something that I've been doing for decades. Like over 2 decades, I've been typing. and a lot of the times it was on social media, but the way I use social media is very different than most people. Okay, I've been trying to recognize this in myself, that I have a strength, that I have been a writer the whole time. And even though not all of it's going to get really like published, it's already published like in comments or, just disparate different, sources. It's not very like super high quality writing, but the thing is like, it's not a waste of time. Even if it got completely deleted, which most of it did. But even if everything got deleted, it's all been a part of strengthening my ability to think. It's all been a part of strengthening my ability to succeed. And so like I've been doing that a lot more lately, is focusing on the things that I generally think are negative are actually couldn't be further from the truth. I am so strong. I have done so much work. I think the issue is that I'm trying to learn I'm trying to learn how to recognize that I've already done a giant body of work. And my goal now is to recognize that and keep a positive attitude so that I can then stop beating myself up about it and start utilizing it. That what I've been doing has been a strength, not a failure. And that I can organize my thoughts in a way that most people can't, because I've written so much. And so that's a strength. It doesn't mean that everything I wrote is publishable. Sometimes like that's definitely delusional. But what it does mean is that everything that I wrote was a part of building this muscle of being able to focus my thoughts, being able to express myself, being able to handle complicated topics and keep them in track in my brain. That is a skill. And I just need to learn how to stop considering myself to be a failure, and especially stop thinking that just because I'm writing on my phone with my thumbs, that somehow that's any less quality than writing on my typewriter. Okay, this delusion that some people have, usually there's like a whole subset of content on like YouTube and TikTok and everywhere of people who are absolutely more focused on the aesthetic of being a writer, like having like writing tools, having a typewriter, having a moleskin notebook with a fountain pen, having a fedora, having like a special chair they sit in with a bookcase full of books they've never read, having like writerly spaces, like, oh look, this is a perfect place to do some writing, or this is where I like to cuddle up with a book, and they've never actually read the books. Maybe they do, but like, even, like, here's the thing, is like, you're so much more obsessed with the idea of the thing, which I've been realizing more and more. I'm actually a writer. I just don't always look like I'm writing. I'm just doing a lot of it. I'm producing writing. That's what a writer does. I don't have to have a fedora and a special, fountain pen with a feather on it. I don't have to have this like, special cup that says that, like, I'm a writer. All these things that social media tells us is what a writer is, those are just aesthetics. They can be fun. But that's don't ever delude yourself into thinking that you're a writer just because you look like a writer. You're a writer because you put words on the page. How you put those words on the page doesn't matter. You can put them on lipstick on a freaking mirror. If that's how you write poetry, and then you take pictures of it, I mean, that's a whole idea for social media posts right there. Literally just writing poetry on the mirror, taking pictures of it, and posting them on Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever the website people use nowadays. Hey, eventually Blue Sky might get canceled. Have you ever thought about that? It's just a platform. Every single platform, they don't care about Pride Month. They don't care. I mean, they might, but like And that's a whole other topic, and I'm getting sidetracked, and I need to take a break. I've been talking for an hour and a half. We've cleaned. I did dishes. I put all my laundry in baskets. And then I got the hose again. And then I talked to Chad about my writing process. And also, like, journaling. Talking to you guys is also writing. This whole time I've been writing. But I've just been doing it with my voice instead of with a nice fancy pen or a nice like moleskin notebook or a typewriter. Like, just because I'm not using my fancy writing devices, like my free write or my typewriter or my special mechanical keyboard that clickety clacks, or my free write that I have special keycaps that I added that clickety clack really well. Or my special foldable keyboard for when I'm using my phone for longer times and I'm like out and about and I don't want to fit my other keyboard that I have. I don't know where I put it. But I have another Bluetooth keyboard that's pink that is a more heavy duty Bluetooth keyboard for typing on my phone. So, like, it doesn't matter. And I have pencils. I have rollerball pens. I have blue and black and red ink. I have gel pens. I have ballpoint pens. I have one fountain pen with a special ink. Like, it's not expensive ink, but it's a good ink. And I could even put lipstick on the mirror and take a picture of it. Okay, like, it doesn't matter how you write, Rebecca. You've been writing. Even if you're tapping on your phone, you're building that superpower of yours. Okay, so even talking to YouTube on a live stream, the fact that you're saying even, it's not just me. It's burned into society that certain things are the right way to do it, and other ways are, oh, that's not the right way to do it. Typing on your phone is just as valid as using a fountain pen and a moleskin. Don't ever let anybody, especially yourself, convince you otherwise. Anyway, I did some cleaning today, and we're going to do some cleaning tomorrow. We're going to finish organizing my room. I'm going to do some laundry. Not all of it, because I have way too much laundry to do, and I don't have enough propane for the dryer. I need to make sure that's going to be on a day off stream. Laundry is a different kind of thing, because it involves like a lot of time in between, and it's not really the same. I've set myself up for success, and I'm focusing on the positive, just like High Life was saying. I think High Life misunderstood what I was saying. It's okay. I was trying to say that I'm focusing on the positive. I wasn't focusing on the negative. I was saying the example of what I've been doing and what I'm doing to overcome it. But I did some cleaning, and I did some talking about my writing system, and I did some journaling by live streaming. So I think we're good to go, chat. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.